Courtney. Just want to give you my answer about why taking something in that's acidic can actually end up making you overall alkaline. Um, Basically, I'm getting my answer from this book called Acid and Alkaline by Herman Ahara. Um, I've read this book before, and it's like it's it has a list of all the acid forming and alkaline forming foods, and that's basically what I've stuck to. And generally, fruits and vegetables alkaline forming, and in general, dairy and meat are acid forming. Now, there's a scientific kind of answer to it, and if I were to sit down and break down how molecules and elements form bonds with one another and how they dissociate in certain solutions, that would be the very, very technical answer. Um, let's see. Let me just read this to you because this is pretty much exactly why the uh, vinegar makes you alkaline instead of acid, even though in the vinegar state it's acidic. Basically, there are strong acids and weak acids. A strong acid would be something like the hydrochloric acid in your stomach, or battery acid or something. Things that if you were to pour them on, or they were to touch your skin, and not the skin, not the surface inside your stomach. It has like mucus and coating that protects your stomach. And I'm talking about like this skin on the outside. If it were to touch that, it would burn it. It would cause a problem because it's a strong acid. A weak acid, you can put some vinegar on your skin. Obviously, it's not going to burn you. And he actually has, this guy, he has a list of strong acids and weak acids and all that stuff. So anyway, basically it says the strong acids in our bodies are those that are formed by the degradation or the breaking apart or breaking down of protein. These are sulfuric acid, phosphoric acid, and nitric acid. And when you look in here, you kind of see why. He gives two lists of the kinds of elements in our foods that form acids and things that form alkaline. The acid-forming elements are sulfur, which just says sulfuric acid, phosphorus, phosphoric acid, and chlorine and iodine. And this is nitric acid, and I'd have to look and see what is nitric acid. What are the molecules or the elements that are involved in that particular, the elements involved in that particular molecule. It might be chlorine and iodine. I don't know. Not off the top of my head. So these are strong, like the battery acid in your car. Strong acids are strong compared to weak acids such as vinegar and citrus juices. Weak acids do not ionize or break apart completely in solution, whereas strong acids do. So when they get in water, they break apart. The weak acids do break apart. This is why vinegar does not burn holes in your clothes or dissolve your bones. It does not break apart completely into an acid and a base part. It remains partly a salt. A salt is formed when an acid and a base combine and neutralize one another. In fact, vinegar, although an acid when you ingest it, does not stay that way. Weak acids, like the acetic acid in vinegar, and the acids in most fruits and especially lemons, contain lots of minerals. So the minerals that are listed here are the alkaline forming elements: sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, iron. So it breaks apart into the acids. It has the acid in it, but it also has these, it has sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, iron. Let's see. It contains lots of minerals which are basic along with their weak acid part. The weak acid part combines with water. So you have this, I do believe that's hydrogen. That's what makes stuff acidic. Hydrogen. It combines with water, which we know water is H2O. So, let's see. Combines with water and is converted into carbonic acid, which then breaks apart into carbon dioxide and water. Carbon dioxide, when you breathe out, that's what you're breathing off. You breathe in oxygen, you breathe out carbon dioxide. So your body knows how to say, okay, we're going to break all these minerals, we're going to break all these elements apart, and then we're going to get rid of the waste product. So the waste product will be the carbon dioxide. So it forms that that molecule, and then you get rid of it through breathing and going to the bathroom, basically, urinating. So you breathe out carbon dioxide and you pass the water out through your kidneys. That would be going to the bathroom. The minerals remain behind to replenish deficient minerals. So in fact, these weak acids in the end alkalize your body by supplying more minerals to it. A very different reaction takes place in the reaction with the strong acids, as they react with or leach out minerals from your body. So, and then it says this is where the acid-alkaline balance problem lies. That's what I'm always telling people, that if, don't just be taken in by, oh, you should eat alkaline foods, you should not eat acid foods. I'm telling you, don't eat meat, don't eat dairy. There's a very scientific, very specific reason why you should not eat dairy, you should not eat meat. Herein lies why. This explanation of this. It's all about education, knowing exactly why they're touting what they're touting. Like I had wrote in the Cure post earlier about fat. The more I research, the more I see fat is good for you, hella good for you. I'm starting to kind of put a little pattern together. I know I'm kind of getting off the topic, but I just wanted to say this. I'm starting to see that in our schooling, when they send you to school, they separate things in such a way that unless you take the initiative yourself to put things together, you're never going to see the connections between certain things. Like a pharmacist, they would know the chemical composition, and I'm about to go look this up because I have a sneaking suspicion this is true. Aricept is the name of the drug they give patients that have dementia or Alzheimer's. My sneaking suspicion is that the chemical composition of that drug actually is similar or an analog to fat. I have a sneaking suspicion. Why? Because what they're trying to do is reverse the Alzheimer's or cure it, supposedly, by using that drug. Well, there's studies out here that suggest that eating coconut oil can actually reverse Alzheimer's. Coconut oil is a fat. So my sneaking suspicion, like I said, I haven't verified this, but I'm going to, because I just have this hunch that the Aricept, whatever the molecular composition of it is actually very similar to fat. Because I know this from, and the thing is, when I went to nursing school, I didn't study pharmacy. And when I say I didn't study pharmacy, I didn't study the chemical compositions of each drug. We did it in general. We might have learned a couple of things. They don't give you enough to actually make these connections unless you go out yourself and make these connections. So, I know that digitalis, which is a heart drug, it's an analog of a chemical that comes out of a flower. There's, and as a matter of fact, they might still make it exactly from flowers. Even chemo drugs are made from, gosh, I can't think. It's a flower. I can see the flower in my head, but I can't think of the name. It's a specific flower. Chemo drugs come from flowers. Aspirin comes from willow bark. Narcotics, opium, there's a lot. They all come from things in nature, but they're copied, and they're missing key elements. They're missing the chi. We've already talked about that. They're missing the chi, the life force. You're just trying to make a chemical structure of something that's never going to heal someone. So anyway, this is why, and it's really deep. I'm really glad you asked that question. I already knew, I just in general, I knew, basically the end byproduct is just acid. Alkaline. It causes you to be alkaline. This right here, you know, the deeper you dig into stuff, you see exactly why they say don't eat this, don't eat that. I believe it is imperative that if you're gonna do anything or devote yourself to anything, you should know why. You shouldn't just say, "Oh, well, yeah, they say don't eat this or don't eat that." Know why? Because another thing about the fat thing, I read a long time ago. You know, when Atkins was around or popular, they were treating children who had epilepsy with high fat, kind of Atkins like diets, mayonnaise, bacon, butter, blah blah blah. Now, the key component of that is the high fat component. You don't need the meat portion. You don't have to eat butter to get high fat. There's plenty of things that are high fat. Coconut oil is very, very high fat. I think they would get the same results, if not better results, by using coconut oil, but that's another story. Basically, in the nervous system, we have what we call the myelin sheath on our nerves, which conducts the electricity or protects the nerve. Actually, been a minute since I've done anatomy and physiology. So, but I know the myelin sheath, and I just looked this up because I said, isn't the myelin sheath made of fat? It is. So, think about this. Your body is structured or composed a certain way, and you're lacking, something is degrading that fat. My sneaking suspicion, again, they've said that in Alzheimer's patients, they found very high concentrations of aluminum in their brains. Where we get aluminum from? Deodorant. Put on our armpits. There's lots of lymph nodes there that carries it throughout your whole circulatory system. So, there must be something about aluminum that degrades that fat, that myelin sheath in your nervous system. If you were to replenish that fat, perhaps the body could heal. Very interesting theory. So I'm going to look into that because I just have all these hunches, and up to 2 or 3 of them have been confirmed. Like, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So I remember that. You know, once you get into working in nursing, you kind of, certain things you don't have to think about, but we do learn them. But once you stop practicing certain things, stop thinking about it every day, it's kind of in the back of your mind, and then when you start talking about it, it comes back up. So, sneaking suspicions. I'm going to confirm all that stuff. But I mean, that makes perfect sense to me. If you are, I've known this through, many other things that I've studied, that nutrition is like the paramount thing that you need to fix. That is the top notch thing you need to do. When you take pills, when you take drugs, it's all about eating and giving your cells, your body, what it needs. So, that's the answer. I hope that makes sense. Hope I didn't go off onto other things, but I just found that really interesting. I've been thinking about a lot of things lately. So there's your answer, Courtney. Hope that makes sense. Peace and blessings.